Hello and welcome. I'm the Kodiak Broncos Podcast, and I hope you guys are having an amazing week. Before we talk about the schedule release, it is now time for me to talk about three guys who I don't think the Broncos should retain going into the 2025 season. But before we get into it, I just want to say leave a like if you enjoy, subscribe if you're not already. You can always wait till the end. Hopefully, I'll heard it. And yeah, let's get into this because we have no time to waste. So, the first of the three guys that I'm going to talk about here today is Deari Matthysse. This is not oh my god, I can't stand to see him on the field sort of thing like it was with Levi Wallace. It's just like when you have a cornerback 6 on your depth chart, are you really going to want to be paying him $3 million just to, be at the bottom of the depth chart most game days? And listen, the fact that Levi Wallace played over Deari Matthysse this year and got the start over him really, really says a lot about Deari Matthysse. I don't know what the coaching staff could have seen in Levi Wallace that made him go out there instead of Chris Abrams-Draine, but the fact that he got the start over Deari Matthysse, that was very, very puzzling to me. That just means that they might have no faith in him to begin with. And, it just is worth mentioning that Deari Matthysse released a terrible rap album 3 days ago. I highly, highly, highly recommend you check it out. It's very funny. He goes by the rap name of Lil Mari, and he raps about, like, stealing his grandma's Percocets and all that. So I think he kind of already has a post-NFL playing career lined up for him, and every song sounds exactly the same, which is why I thought it was so funny. But there were some nice moments from Matthysse that I can remember this past year. Like he had a couple nice breakups in the Saints game. He was deployed in dime during the Cleveland game, and it just is one of those things where like, all right, in 2023 at the beginning of the year, he got the chance to be the cornerback 2, absolutely barfed, absolutely fell on his face, and instead we deployed Moreau for the rest of the year. But once again, useful player, quality depth guy. Like, as your cornerback 6, I'm probably thrilled with him. I don't know much about the other cornerback 6s going around there at the bottom of the NFL depth charts, but I imagine he's probably the best one. But yeah, we can save $3 million by cutting him, which gives us some nice flexibility during the season. You just never know what's going to happen. You never know when you might need that cap space and when it could come in handy. So yeah, once again, he's not terrible. He just costs way too much, and I'd hope to bring him back for cheaper if we did go this route as well. But, I mean, it may be worth letting him move on to another team and finding his footing there and getting a chance to carve out a role there as well, either as a rapper or as a DB. So, number 2, Lucas Kroll. So, this is, unlike Deari Matthysse and the guy I'm going to talk about next, this is he's terrible sort of thing. Man, I just got to say that he just has no business being on this 53-man roster. Like, I'm not trying to be mean, but, he just has no business being a part of this team going into next year. Every time I see his name come across the screen, I'm just like, what kind of blackmail does he have on Sean Payton? What kind of blackmail does he have on George Payton to the point where he is still on this team, literally wasting a roster spot because he doesn't do anything right? Like, I think back to last year, and it's like, what did he do well? He's 6'6", 240, and to be completely honest, he is just a waste of athletic potential. Like, I'm pretty sure he had above a 9 RAS, but, like, why is he on the field? Like, that's what gets me. He's built like a monster, yet I've never seen a guy his size play smaller than he does. He's supposed to be a tight end, hybrid position where you can either block like an offensive lineman or catch like a wide receiver, but he doesn't either. He can't block a soul. Defensive ends just, I don't know, they can just blow him off so easily. And, don't tell me about potential. This dude was a UDFA for a reason. All 32 teams passed on him multiple times because he is just not very good at football. So this dude's just a complete nothing burger. Cecil Lammey, I don't know what you saw in training camp. I don't know what you heard that made you believe that this Lucas Kroll hype train was like a valid thing because, I mean, he didn't catch a single touchdown last year, and his production was on par with the rest of our trash tight ends. And once again, what does he provide to this team? Like, he's not a good receiving tight end. He's not a good blocking tight end. So if you're not good at receiving or blocking, which are pretty much the two things a tight end does, what are you good for? Like, that's just me being completely real and honest. And when I think about our other trash tight ends last year, I was not very happy with the room in general. I was not very happy with how they played throughout the year. But I can at least remember some of the good things that guys like Troutman and Atkins did. Like, I remember Troutman had that sick one-handed catch against Carolina or Atlanta. Can't remember which one. And I remember I was at the game against the Colts where Nate Atkins had like a spin touchdown. Nate Atkins also threw some pretty sick blocks. So And Troutman is also a very quality, like, veteran tight end presence. Like, do you really want him as your tight end 1 or 2? Not really, but tight end 3, I'm all for it. And, thinking back to last year, what did Lucas Kroll do? Like, he didn't catch a single touchdown. He did not, get any big third down conversions in any of our important games. So, like, I'm trying to just think about it like somebody please, please, please try to tell me a memory you have of Lucas Kroll last year because I'm lost. I'm absolutely lost. And I'm one of the biggest bleeders of orange and blue out there. So if I can't remember anything that Lucas Kroll did that was productive and competitive for this team, there's a good chance that he probably didn't. And now we have a logjam of tight ends. I can't remember. Who was that tight end we signed from the Raiders? Cole something? Fotheringham, I want to say. Either way, with Caleb Lohner, with Yasmin, sorry about that, with Yasmin, who they ended up cutting not too long ago. Now we just have a complete logjam of trash tight ends in the tight end room, behind Evan Ingram. So there is no need for a guy like Kroll to be on the roster. I would give Lohner the first crack since they drafted him, and I think that's what will happen. I would give him the nod over Kroll if all those things are equal. And yeah, and it is very possible that Lucas Kroll does take a jump in this offseason because this is going to be his 4th year, I want to say, in the NFL. And tight end is a position that does take a long time to develop, especially as a UDFA. So no coaching staff, neither from the Saints nor the Broncos where he's played, had like a much of investment and, means and resources to want to develop him. Like, I don't know. They don't have very much incentive to do that either now that they have Lohner on the team. And unless he takes a jump, which, like I said, is a possibility, he talked about how he's going to be attending the, tight end training camp in May or whatever. I think he's probably just cooked. I think he's probably just, not really going to be anything in the NFL. He at least hasn't been anything for the Denver Broncos. And I hope if we do move on from him, he can carve out a role somewhere. And I hope he comes on here and makes me look like a doofus for saying that we should probably cut him and move on from him. But that's just how I'm feeling. That's just how I'm feeling, gang. Number 3, PJ Locke. So once again, he is completely fine for what he is. And now that he can be deployed as a third safety, which is his correct role, I have no qualms about, keeping a guy like him around. But $4.1 million in savings is too good to pass up on what he brings. And this is the one I feel relatively uneasy about because safety is still kind of thin. Like, yeah, we brought in Hufanga. Yeah, we have Brandon Jones. But beyond that, not really a whole lot of proven NFL success. And PJ Locke, last year, during our big moments, he proved to be a huge liability on this defense. And once again, I just don't think he met the standards of this defense. I think you can point to the 3 main problems on the defense last year. PJ Locke, Justin Sternad, Cody Barton. And those really, really came to light in the final month of the year when teams could finally know our weaknesses and expose our weaknesses. And PJ Locke letting Geno Smith run for a touchdown. PJ Locke, just getting absolutely bodied by those complete no-name Chargers running backs on that Thursday night football game. I think the writing's kind of on the wall with him. Like, he definitely will not go into this season as a penciled starter for the Denver Broncos. But he's kind of like the new era of Will Parks, where he was kind of forced into action because we didn't really have a whole lot behind him. But oh well, like, he did fine for what he could have been. But I don't know. He was never supposed to be a starter to begin with, so it's not entirely his fault that the Broncos had limited resources and couldn't target positions such as tight end, linebacker, and safety. And PJ Locke was forced into the starting lineup as a result of that. But guess what? You go out and you sign Talanoa Hufanga, who once again has had some problems staying healthy throughout his time in San Francisco, especially in recent years. Yeah, I don't know. Once again, this is another guy who I'd be fine bringing him back for a lower cap number because we can finally deploy him in his correct role, what he is supposed to be. Use him pretty much primarily as a blitzer. Do not use him as a center field safety. And yeah. All right, so that basically does it for me. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Mile high salute.